Hello, YouTube. Welcome in, welcome in. Mildly scared, because, once again, politics. Politics is scary. However, it's Sh0eonhead, and Sh0eonhead makes very entertaining content. Let's see, Maga was right. We were crazy. Are Democrats okay? So, the last time we covered a Sh0eonhead video, I made a specific statement, and honestly, I got a lot less backlash than I thought I was going to for this, but the main statement I wanted to make was that it seems whoever is in the losing, whoever is not in power currently, so currently the Democrats are not in power, the Republicans are, and when the Democrats were in power, the Republicans weren't. Whoever is not in power tends to go a little wonky, a little crazy, a little off the deep end in some cases, and then as soon as they get into power, they tend to calm down. So, in some cases, a little less than other situations, but I am not a political streamer. I do not pretend to be a political streamer. Hell, I'm Canadian. Right now, I just want to see the crazy shit that's happening these days, and let's just find out what's going on. Anyway, let's get to watching.
So my last video was about woke one, a new phrase coined by leftists and Democrats online that is being used to distance themselves from the terrible PR disaster that was the last few years for the left in America. Nancy Pelosi kneeling in full African garb to honor George Floyd? Why, that was just woke one. And how, in my opinion, that was not woke one, and how woke one actually started in like 2012, 2014 with Gamergate, Me Too, you know, Tumblr era feminism, the whole pre-Trump era wokeness, before it was even called woke. And I told—
Yeah, no, that's probably true. Yeah, that's probably true. It's not like it's bad. Like, woke isn't bad. A lot of these ideals aren't bad. It's when they get so sensationalized that it becomes people's entire personality. Like they can't have a single thought in their head that isn't about being woke or politically correct or anything along those lines. That's when it gets to be a little bit of a problem.
Talked about how I don't want them to rewrite history and pretend this all started in like 2020. After uploading that video on Woke One, I thought I was free. That I would never have to hear the insufferable, delusional term Woke One ever again.
Why would you think that? That is a Murphy's Law waiting to happen. You know? That is the Murphy's Law. That is basically like trying to say, well, it can't get any worse, right?
I thought I could finally move on with my life.
No.
Yeah, I thought.
What do you make of those controversial statements I'm sure you've seen? I mean, she's, you know, the Thanksgiving dust up, abolish prisons, abolish police.
Francesca Hong has made clear her present stances to her electorate.
Yeah, she's moved away from a lot
Right,
of that.
she's moved away from it. Of course, rhetoric in that time is not rhetoric that we would use today. I have a local city councilman that has this saying, woke one was crazy.
Yay.
Now, as an ex-AOC fangirl, I feel like I am well within my rights to say, not so fast, bitch. I watched these people go from anti-establishment, fighting the man, become the most preachy, buck-broken, neutered HR department Karens in real time. I remember when she broke away.
It was like pulling teeth. AOC backed away from Sanders' campaign after Joe Rogan endorsement.
From the Bernie Sanders campaign after he dared go on Joe Rogan.
This is also the stupidest thing. Like, it is good to go on your opposite party's platform. It's good because then you can actually have a fucking conversation. And also, just as a reminder, Joe Rogan used to be liberal. Actually, a lot of Republicans used to be liberal. So it's like, why? But like, as soon as you associate with somebody of the opposite side, suddenly you're the worst person imaginable. And why? Joe Rogan, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Joe Rogan, but that's only because I'm not a fan of the type of content he makes, not the type of person he is. He brings everybody onto his channel and will ask them just straight up questions. He doesn't pretend to know everything. He doesn't pretend to, you know, be the authority on anything. He just brings people in and asks them legitimate questions and will pressure them on things that he believes he understands and is just looking for kind of like a kickback in the conversation. Looking for people to challenge his ideas. And in a meaningful way. Like, seriously, that's all it is. And when you just flat out look at the other side and say, no, I'm not going to associate with you because you're terrible people. Well, I mean, like, that's not progressive at all. If anything, that's just putting everything into a stagnant, sterile environment, and no progress can ever be made. No middle ground can ever be found because you're too scared to look at the other side of the river.
Watched this all happen, and I held on. I held on for a long time. Many would say too long, in fact. But this clip of AOC talking about Woke One really solidified how I've been feeling for the past few years. In this video, I will be responding to AOC trying to walk back Woke One in what I can only assume is a desperate attempt to distance herself from the more crazy people in her movement before a future presidential run. Now, while politicians are out here trying to dodge accountability for things that they've said and done, the rest of us are out here figuring out how the fuck we're gonna afford anything. People are getting squeezed from every direction. Rent costs too much, groceries cost too much, everything costs too much. At this point, I'm scared to open my wallet because I know it's gonna be empty. Actually, that's not true. It's full of shit. Just random gift cards from 2011 that I've never used.
And are probably not useful anymore because apparently they're allowed to do that sort of shit sometimes. But yeah, no, that's exactly the problem. Politicians don't care. It doesn't matter the side. It really does not matter the side. Politicians don't give a shit. Everything is just run for the sake of capitalism at the moment. And don't get me wrong, capitalism is good. Capitalism is great. I like capitalism. It does a good thing because it, actually makes sure that the world is spinning in a fair direction. It might not feel fair, but like that's just because certain players just play the game a little better in a way, I guess. And this is coming from somebody who is very much lower middle class. At best, lower middle class. But like, you just have to make smarter decisions. You just have to use your money wisely, what you have to work with. And if you're able to do that, it tends to go a lot farther. But like, even if you do that, even if you are as frugal or smart as you possibly can be with your money, it just gets away from you sometimes because there's going to be a day where you're just like, I've been going weeks of just eating rice and chicken and nothing else. I just want a goddamn Big Mac, okay? I just want a Big Mac. No, I don't like Big Macs. But either way. And then next thing you know, you look at your credit card statement and, oh, wow, I've spent almost $4,000 this month. Yay. How much did I make this month? Oh, I barely made one. Yay. That's going to suck for the next few months. Oh, boy. It's frustrating, and it really sneaks up on you so fast.
I don't even know what half this stuff is. But thankfully, I have a product that can help with just that. So before we get into today's video, let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ridge.
Hey.
Ridge is known for creating premium minimalist wallets that can hold up to 12 cards and conveniently store your cash. They're made with RFID blocking technology, which protects you from wireless identity theft. One of the things I love about
the reason why you want that is, you know how you're able to go up to a cashier and you can just tap your phone or tap your card and boom, you paid for the bill? Well, there's a lot of people who have made like devices that will do just that, and they'll put it next to your wallet or next to your pocket as you're walking past, and will then just bloop a transfer. It's seamless, it's not detectable, and it's a problem. RF detectors, anti-RF detectors in these types of wallets will prevent that from happening. Do you need this? Probably not. The chances of that actually happening are slim to none. If you hold your card in your breast pocket or something along those lines, probably work out a little bit better. If you put it in your purse or something, I mean, if you put it in your purse, it's a little bit easier to find. But this there's a few ways to get around it without having to get these. And the only time you really need to worry about it is if you're going through extremely high traffic areas, i.e. the airport.
Their products is they come in so many different designs. Their store features over 30 unique colors and styles. My favorite right now is the titanium purple. I love the sleek design and I love the very subtle purpley color. I think it's gorgeous. Another cool product that works well with the wallet is the Ridge Tracker card. It's like an AirTag in the shape of a credit card. You just put it right in your wallet, and if you ever lose your wallet, you can find its location right from your phone.
Oh shit, that's actually really cool. Okay, that's really cool. I like that.
Plus, it charges wirelessly and can last up to 5 months on a full charge.
Damn.
But Ridge isn't just focused on wallets anymore. They also created a very useful 5-in-1 power bank. It comes with MagSafe wireless charging and even a charging pad for your Apple Watch. Ridge has also created new 24-ounce water bottles. I've got the American traditional design. I love it. It's so cute. It's like little retro tattoos made from double-walled stainless steel. It keeps your drink nice and cold for hours. I'm taking a trip to Italy soon, and I'm definitely going to bring the water bottle and the wireless charger. These will come in handy. I think Ridge's products are great, but
I've never been across the sea. I've never been to Europe at all, like in any of the locations. I've only ever been around Canada and a little bit in the US. Yep, that's about it. Haven't even hit Mexico. And I've only hit a few places in both of them. I don't travel much. I would love to, but man, is it expensive.
Don't just take my word on it. Ridge has over 100,000 5-star reviews. And now they even have something extra special. This year, Ridge is hosting a massive sweepstakes, and this time 2 people can win. The winners get to choose from a Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato, a Hennessy Velociraptor, a Ford Bronco, or a...
Why does that look like it? That is some interesting color choices. That is, I'm not sure about that one.
$100,000 in cash. The giveaway runs until September 8th. There are tons of ways you can enter, but you can also just enter it for free. But if you want to boost your chances, every Ridge purchase gets you additional entries. So head over to ridge.com/shoe to check out their collection and enter the 2026 sweepstakes for free using my link. Big thanks to Ridge for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad.
Welcome.
And now, back to the video.
Yay.
Now, before we get into the real meat of this, the real juicy, this is the politician AOC and the interviewer are talking about. Francesca Hong is a progressive DSA candidate who recently lost her primary. Francesca Hong has a few interesting
Francesca Hong for governor. Defund the police. Number 1, defund the police. Number 2, defund the police. Number 3, defund the police. Number 4, defund the police. Number 5, craft 2021 budget. Do not defund the police. I'm sorry. Look, I know there's a lot of people who don't like the police and all that, but if you do not have a law enforcement group, you want to know what you're going to have after that? People who don't give a shit about your private property. People who don't give a shit about you, able to do whatever the fuck they want. Whatever they want, whenever they want, to whatever or whoever they want, right? You need police to protect you. Yes, there are always going to be corrupted people. It's unfortunately just part of human nature. However, the amount of corruption within the police is actually minuscule in comparison to the amount of good that's in the police. And the amount of good that the police do. Okay? If you defund the police, if you make it so that these people who are putting their lives on the line in order to keep your house safe, to keep you safe, to keep bad people off the street, to keep your children from getting grabbed in playgrounds, if you start making them have to, get budget cuts, lose out on payments, get worse equipment, or just straight up don't exist, well, unfortunately, your entire area is going to fall apart and turn into an absolute rioting shithole. That's just how it works. If there is nobody to uphold the rules, the rules don't matter to shit. You're going to live in Tortuga, okay? That's how it's going to work.
Tweets from 2020. Who among us does not? But most
Wait, what did that say? What did it say? I like thumbing through frame by frame. It's fun. Can we talk about how that fish was kind of hot? Hey, no. Hey. Hi.
but most notably, one about wanting to cancel Thanksgiving. Cancel Thanksgiving. Should have done
Go on.
this in 1621. If it takes a worldwide pandemic for us to realize we should stop celebrating colonialism and the original super spreader event that killed indigenous folks and women, so be it.
Is there anyone out there who actually celebrates Thanksgiving for that specific reason nowadays? Most people who celebrate Thanksgiving give thanks to the people and the things that they have in their lives that allow them to do the things that they need to. People don't celebrate the mass murdering. People don't celebrate the bad parts. People are celebrating the good that came from it. We have a home. We have a nation. We have a place to be who we are, where we are, and what we are, okay? Yes, bad shit happened. Guess what? That is just what humans fucking do. Okay? We don't do it as much anymore, at least in first world countries. People want land, and if, once again, there's no rules to stop them, they're going to take it by force every fucking time. So then, you get the rules, you don't get your shit taken. Please don't gather for the colonizer holiday. Please do wear a mask. Physically distance. Support local independent restaurants. Physically distance. Support local independent restaurants via carryout and delivery. Okay. And help provide meals for neighbors in your community. Do wear a mask. Physically distance. Provide meals for neighbors in your community. That is literally what Thanksgiving is. Stay up and stay grateful when you can, friends.
Please don't gather for the colonizer holiday. Please do wear a mask. I forget that people actually speak like this, and it's not just like some conservative parody of liberals.
One thing that they brought up as well was a post from you in 2021 where you said Americans should cancel Thanksgiving, should have done this in 1621. Do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled?
I'm a chef. Bringing folks around the table to share conversation and build community is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities.
Don't get me wrong.
Who? Specifically who?
I love the struggle session they're putting these candidates through, reading their old woke 1.0 tweets back at them, like a dog that peed on the carpet. What is this? What is this? But the quotes and replies from like Democrats and leftists on this were even funnier. Is it so hard to just say, no, I do not want to cancel Thanksgiving? Even if you do want to, just lie?
Collins, do you believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled? Hong, I'm a chef, and one of the first meals that I made was for the community when I was 16. Was a Thanksgiving meal. But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities. I don't think I've ever met a single person who's actually, like, unless, like, something tragic happened to them in their lives, like, their direct lives around Thanksgiving, I don't think I've ever met a single person who has had, like, a hurt moment when Thanksgiving came around. Okay? And I should also mention, I grew up around a lot of people from the indigenous communities. Most of them actually also celebrated Thanksgiving too, by the way.
Why is she catering so hard to the fringe? Does she want to lose her election? Why can't she just lie? This woman is an optics nightmare. Just say no.
Just be a politician and lie. Just be a politician and lie. Just lie. Lie to our faces. We want you to lie to us.
Say it was a joke. Say it was woke one. Just lie, for fuck's sake. Just say no. Just lie, please. No, she shouldn't lie, and she's not trying to cater. This is what she truly believes. And the people should know exactly what she believes. She has talked about her half-white son, that he gives her a, quote,
oh, this is... I've heard of this. This is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Proximity to whiteness.
I wasn't always aware of the struggles of other communities of color, because for me, assimilation always kind of took over. And so I did marry. My proximity to whiteness continues, right? My son is biracial. He's half white and half Korean.
I love the hesitation. She's like, I married...
Hesitation because she knows it's stupid. Proximity to whiteness, that is one of the most racist things I've ever heard. And you're putting that on your kid. You're making him feel self-conscious because he has white in his DNA.
My child is half white. She can't even, like, bring herself to say it. Activists in the streets, colonized in the sheets.
Oh my.
Many such cases. Also, Francesca Hong just, like, hates all...
back it up.
sheets. Many such cases. Also,
in the car headed to Superior, I have about 30 minutes. Ask me anything and I'll try to answer. Only subjects off limit is Halloween. Not my thing. You really just hate holidays, don't you?
Jessica Hong just, like...
IT Bro was working on our computer, remotely changed the background theme to snow and Christmas trees. I feel slightly attacked. Why?
Hates all holidays.
I do not enjoy... Do you just hate fun? You just hate fun and enjoyment and being together with your people and your family and your friends and all. You just hate everything, don't you? Oh my god.
Apparently. This woman is straight up Grinch maxing. She's got a hate tweet for every fucking holiday, I swear to god. Except for Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa to all those celebrating this time of togetherness and vibrancy and culture. May this first day of unity be shared with love. Well, isn't that nice? That's nice.
Of course. Why would she hate Kwanzaa? When asked how her long-term vision of a world without prisons would work, Hong said, "What I know is attainable, and the policies that actually meet the urgency of the moment and understanding the realities of it means we have to ensure that we're funding our local governments, that we're bringing justice to victims." She added, "What may have been aspirational is not primary."
This is basically her roundabout way of saying absolutely nothing. When asked what her long-term vision of a world without prisons would, how a world without prisons would work, Hong said, "What I know is obtainable, and the policies that actually meet the urgency of the moment and understanding the realities of it means that we have to ensure that we're funding our local governments, which is the police and the prisons in this situation, that we're bringing justice to victims." Once again, we do that with police work, detective work, and imprisoning the bad guys. Locking up the problems. Locking up the people that are hurting people. You basically said, oh, we don't want to have prisons, but we want to have prisons. Okay.
What may have been aspirational. So it's still an aspiration. It's still a goal. It's just not the primary one. Interesting. Also, her opponent said this.
People try to call me the establishment. I look at that as a slur, particularly as an African-American candidate.
So, cancel Thanksgiving or establishment is a racist slur. Your Democratic Party, sir.
Wait,
anyway,
what?
My point is, Francesca Hong's old tweets about defunding the police and
I'm so confused about that statement that he made. Okay, fair enough.
Whiteness and Thanksgiving, they were being all hand-waved away by AOC as just simply being woke one.
Woke one was crazy.
Woke one was crazy. But if you said woke one was crazy during woke one, you are a racist fascist Nazi. The citation of woke 1.0 or woke 1 is now a common shorthand among parts of the online left to describe and distance themselves from what they view as a more dated or inconvenient aspects of the impassioned social justice activism they participated in during the late 2010s and early 2020s.
Okay. Okay, fair enough, yeah.
In 2021, Sh0eonhead, campaigning for New York City Council, tweeted, "A cis white man should not be the next speaker of the council."
Why? Why not?
When a critic of his on X unearthed that old post earlier this year, Ose, now a council member, gave a pithy response. Woke 1 was crazy.
Yeah, why can't a cis male who's white have a job? If he's good for the job, if he's good at the job, why can't he have it? If he was a black gay lady and they were good at the job, why can't they have it? It does not matter what race you are, does not matter what your ethnicity is, does not matter what your sexual preferences, does not matter who you are as a person. If you are good at the job, you should get the job. That's the only thing that fucking matters. As soon as you start bringing in, okay, we need to make sure we have more black people, we need to have more Hispanic people, we need to have more Asian people, we need to have more gay people, we need to have more women, we need to have we have a lot of white men in our company. We should stop hiring as many of those. Make sure we're bringing in all these other people. The second you start looking at optics like that, congratulations, it's racism. Because you are specifically pushing away people based on the color of their skin. It basically just straight up immutable traits. That is just how it is. Yes, you might not think that they are as like indentured as some of the other ones, but it is still an immutable trait that they have no control over. Nobody asks to be white. Nobody asks to be a man. Nobody asks to be a woman. Nobody asks to be trans. Nobody asks to be gay. Nobody does any of that. They just are. Okay? And as soon as you start focusing on, we need to make sure that we're bringing in more people of this ethnicity and less people of that ethnicity, congratulations, that's racist.
We all got a bit crazy back then. We did some jello shots and got on the bar and took off our tops and burned the city down and got people fired from their jobs for having opinions Obama had 15 years ago. You can't spend like 10 years bullying people into the most retarded asocial political opinions under the coercion of social ostracization or getting fired from their job, then turn around and just be like, that just happened. My career for like a decade has been calling this out, has been trying to tell the left and the Democratic Party that this woke shit was toxic and would drive people away from them. And for 10 years, I was called a racist, sexist, pick-me, fascist, Nazi, every ism under the sun. And now they're just conceding to that and acting like it never happened. And you just expect us to, what, move on? I've been like a dog chasing a car, and I finally got the car, and I don't know what to do with it. Like, first of all, why as a Democratic politician would you say this? You're basically saying like, yeah, MAGA was right. We were crazy. Like, okay, what else are they right about then? Even from like an AOC fan point of view, this just makes her look completely unserious and makes like the progressive movement look completely unserious, which it is. Why should anyone trust a politician who can get swept up in mass hysteria so easily? How can I trust that won't happen again? How can I trust in 5 years from now?
You can't. You can't. Because even leaders follow, okay? They will follow what the mass of their groups talk about. If their masses of people are saying, we want more of this, even if that leader is like not exactly a fan of that, they're going to be like, well, if I want to keep my power, I'm going to have to make sure that I'm giving the people what they want. So we're going to do that. Unfortunately, when people want things and they want it with enough passion, they become vocal minorities. They're not speaking for literally everybody, but because of their voices being loud and boisterous, they bring more people to their side and they make people feel like that's what everybody wants every single time. So you are like, oh, okay, well, we'll do this thing then. and then find out later that, oh, wait, no. Over around 50% to over 50% didn't want the thing we're doing? That's news to me.
You won't just call whatever it is you're advocating for now woke too and dismiss it as crazy. Free Palestine. Woke too was crazy. Like, what do you believe in? Could you imagine Republicans being like, January 6th one was crazy? Basically, I said this all on Twitter, and people are like already making videos of it. AOC panics after Sh0eonhead calls her. Like, that didn't even happen. Like, I don't think AOC even knows I exist. I love the thumbnail on this one. Shoe bitch slaps AOC. Who the fuck is this? Is that Shoe bitch? Ah yes, the infamous, notorious Shoe bitch. Going around slapping women. Every time I log onto YouTube, I'm destroying and slapping and finishing on people. If you didn't know who I was, you would think I was some, like, psychopathic rapist. And then you click on the video and it's just like, I posted a tweet.
Usually, yeah. You've been popping up on my stream, on my feed quite a bit lately, especially with that mom situation. He's just, you're a popular lady. You're a popular person. Well, I'm not gonna lie. And a lot of VTubers really like you because you also make very good, concise content. People who don't tend to like you probably don't really watch your shit or listen to what you're actually trying to say, and are just trying to find reasons to just disagree with everything you're trying to say.
Anyway, back to the point. When a citizen changes their mind on something, that's totally normal, that's totally natural. Many things can happen in the span of years that can change your mind on something. It's perfectly normal to evolve and grow. And it's fine if you're a politician and you change your mind on something, but, and this is a big but, this is a fat ass. If you're a politician and you change your mind on something, I want to know exactly why you changed your mind. When you changed your mind. Be transparent. What about woke 1, really woke 2 in my opinion, don't you agree with anymore? Why didn't the interviewer ask AOC that question? Like, what was crazy about woke 1? Trans women are women, DEI, white privilege, defund the police, the Green New Deal, like what? What?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, what specifically, what part of all that stuff are you no longer for? Like... Because, yeah, that's one of the big things. Like, another big problem I'm having with all this, people believe that you're not allowed to learn, grow, and change opinions from what you've had before. I've had friends and family who thought I was, like, very closed-minded or hated specific things, so they did everything in their power to avoid doing that with me. And meanwhile, I'm just like, why are you doing that? Why are you saying things like that? And they're like, oh, well, because when you were like such and such age years and years ago, you said this to me, so I've been making sure to not do that around you or not talk about that sort of stuff around you. I'm like, why? Because I don't believe that anymore. Have you ever thought to talk to me about that, or like just talk like a normal person around me and see how I would react? Like, or people are allowed to have their opinions. People are allowed to just be themselves around other people. You don't have to change who you are around another person, even if it's your friend, especially if it's your friend. You should feel comfortable being yourself around your friends at all times. If you're not, and you have to change yourself to be around your friends, are you really with your friends? That's the big question you have to ask yourself, right? Yeah, sometimes you have to change like a few things. Like, I don't like talking about politics around a lot of my friends because I don't see a lot of the same issues that they do, right? I don't agree with some of their talking points. I don't fit in with a lot of their talking points and all that. But I'm not going to sit there and as soon as they say something I don't agree with, just be like, oh, no, okay, we're getting into this, we're going to have a fight now. No, I don't do that. I'm just like, okay, I'll let you believe what you want, because I'm not educated enough, and I don't want to get into those types of talking points. Not with people care about or care more about a relationship with than, making sure that I'm right on a topic. Or make sure that they're right on a topic or something like that. It's not worth it. And once again, as time goes, you learn, you grow, new information comes out, and you start figuring things out. I was like, maybe this was how things actually were supposed to work. Like right now, a lot of people tend to have ADHD and autism just built in inherently, it seems. And it's always been like that. It's just we haven't noticed it before. And people mask way better. It's just... I look at my parents who are part of the boomer group. They definitely have some form of like TISM, ADHD, or something along those lines. But like, you would think that they don't. You would think that they're just normal people.
Tell us. What? Tell the class. I've talked about this a few times in a few videos, but one example of me changing my mind, I was way more critical of the police back in like 2020, like borderline ACAB. I was also single, depressed, living in my parents' basement, smoking weed every day, but I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. I can tell you that moving from the suburbs to the city, taking public transportation, having a kid, seeing firsthand how bad things are and how bad things can get, actually experiencing the world outside of my bubble is what changed my mind on that topic and a whole bunch of other topics. So I want to know, AOC and other politicians, what about woke one do you disagree with now? What's sad is, if this was like 5 years ago, I'd be like, hell yeah, AOC has finally seen the light. Woke is bad, so true. Now we can get real things done, comrade. But it's not 5 years ago. I'm a grown-up now, and this is extremely pathetic. As a politician, you need to be transparent. I'm gonna bird hands at you. Be transparent. The people who act like we need to be apologizing for shit our ancestors did 400 years ago, and like 2020 never happened. I'm not buying it, sorry.
We weren't alive 400 years ago, sorry to say, we weren't. The sins of our fathers are not my sins. I've got enough shit on my plate to deal with, other than, shit that some old people did way back when. Today's 2026. Sorry, but I'm worried about today. I'm not worried about 500 years ago.
Issues were f***ing, like, existential to these people a few years ago.
Not to say that history isn't important. It is extremely important, because that way you know history and you know how we got to where we are, and you know what is possible to happen in the future, okay? Because you can actually kind of predict future events based off of historical events, to some degree. However, if you put too much stock in that, then you start, assuming things are getting worse and worse than they really are.
And I was just like, no big deal. It was just a phase, Mom. I'm just a silly 30-year-old teenage politician. My concern isn't really that Democrats are admitting this stuff was wrong and deeply unpopular. My concern is I don't see anything preventing from that happening again. There's literally some assemblywoman in Brooklyn right now running on some woke one-ass shit as we speak, talking about how stealing should be legal, actually. No one should be arrested, much less jailed, for stealing a tube of toothpaste. Incarceration separates people from their jobs, support service, and loved ones. It perpetuates a cycle of poverty and crime, no matter how much fear-mongering the right-wing media does.
If you steal, congratulations, you broke the law. You took something that's not yours. If you... First of all, it's a slap on the wrist offense, right? You stole a tube of toothpaste. That's not a big deal. That's not a big deal, right? Well, okay, cool. I got away with the tube of toothpaste. What else can I get away with? How about some bread? That's a little bigger than a tube of toothpaste. I'm going to try to get away with that. Oh, I only got a slap on the wrist for that, too. Okay. Let's go a little bigger. I'm going to steal a box of hamburger patties. Cool. Oh, still a slap on the wrist. I see. Okay, so I can get away with buying, with pretty much stealing whatever food I want. Cool. Let's go a little bigger. I'm going to go into the electronics section. I'm going to steal myself a let's go with a headset. Let's go with a headset. Let's see how I can push the envelope. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. Cool, they don't care. I was able to get away with it. Cool. I'm just going to walk into that Walmart now, break the glass, and pull out a PlayStation 5 and walk out the door. What are they going to do? Put me in jail? They haven't yet.
These people aren't stealing toothpaste because they have to brush their teeth. These people are stealing things in bulk to sell on Facebook Marketplace.
That too.
We have food banks, food stamps, charity for poor people who can't actually afford toothpaste. If I could go back in time and tell myself one thing, it would be criminals are not Aladdin. Criminals are not Aladdin. Criminals are not Aladdin! And it would make everyone's lives incredibly easier if there was actually some deterrent against crime. Yes. Otherwise, what's the point? Why should anyone go to work and spend their hard-earned money when we can just steal? Crime is legal now. Laws. Drunk driving is not illegal on stolen land. I don't think they understand.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once you start saying one crime's not illegal anymore, cool. What other crimes aren't illegal anymore? How far can I push this envelope? How bad can it get? Eventually, you're going to have somebody shoot somebody and be like, that's against the law. What law? Nobody told me about this law. I thought everything was legal now. I thought it was fine. And you might be able to punish that person, but somebody just died.
Just how incomprehensible some of their worldview actually is.
So if my daughter is assaulted and raped, is there any agency that would seek to find her assailant and bring him to justice?
Good question, friend. What do you say?
Of course, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What would it be if not police, and where would he be if not a jail?
So I guess I really want to avoid getting kind of caught into these hypotheticals.
This is the main hypothetical. This isn't a hypothetical. This is the valid situation. This is the main situation that you're trying to obfuscate. You don't want to think about that because it's a scary thought. Yes, it's a scary thought.
And talk more about the reality that we're actually facing right now, which is that we're spending absolutely outrageous amounts of money on police and policing.
What hypothetical?
Yeah, no, that's not hypothetical. That's not the situation, and that's not even the question. The question is that this is the reality, and it is a reality. People are getting brutalized, hurt, and, taken advantage of in terrible, terrible, terrible ways. And if no police or no jails are there for the attackers, what are we doing with them? Just, oh, that's silly. Let's just let that happen. You can go away and do your thing. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just try not to do that again, please. Okay? It hurts other people. I'm gonna do it again.
That's the entire idea. That's the entire policy, and you can't explain it? Abolish prisons. Where do the bad people go? I don't know. Yeah, okay. In a functioning society, people like that would be forced to dig ditches in a work camp forever. Useless. Sorry, I'm shutting out so hard in this video. I'm
Fair.
in my ludio.
Yeah, no, I've been shutting pretty good on this one. Look, once again, I'm not a political person. I don't want to be a political person, but these are important conversations to be had. These are important things to think about. And, you can't just hand wave something because they do stuff that you don't like sometimes. Sometimes you have to do the wrong thing in order to do the right thing. It happens. I'm sorry. And yes, we spend a lot of money, but guess what? These police officers, we've seen some of these body cam videos. We've seen body cam videos on the channel. Some of these people have to deal with the shittiest and scummiest people in the goddamn world. Will have to deal with, legitimate violent offenders, people who want to kill them for no reason other than they're just like that. So yeah, I'm okay with spending a little bit more on tax dollars for those heroes in blue saving us from the crazy people with a gun.
Phase. I have a fucking pimple. I have a pimple. For the first time in 15 years, I'm stressing out so hard. What the f? Anyway, despite the Republicans completely dropping the ball right before midterms, surprise! War in the Middle East forever! The sudden walk back about Woke 1 clearly shows the Democrats are still struggling with PR. If only there was some sort of left-wing Joe Rogan.
People think I'm the king of Woke 1.0, that I was Mr. Rad Lib, right? I never was. I have a pretty open
Here we go again.
Mind to unlimited progress, but I also understand how people operate. Like I never did the Latinx thing. Like I have been dark woke before dark woke was invented. Like
What's
this
dark
is the
woke?
headquarters of dark woke.
Not the dude who called me emo, calling himself dark woke. What the actual is dark woke?
Right?
What is dark woke? Dark woke is just Democrats are just as woke as we were in woke 1.0. The messaging is what's important. It is aggressive.
The entire idea of dark woke seems to be that regular woke was too polite and too wholesome.
Dark woke for me is we are fighting for good and for equality and for social justice for everybody, but we don't mind saying F you.
Dark woke, get it? It's like woke, but we're mean.
Yeah, because that's going to help. That's going to bring people to your side. You attract more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Yeah, y'all ever remember that little saying from your grandmama? Probably not, because you're parentless. Oh my god. Okay.
Mean. That's why people hated you. You were finger-wagging, morally righteous woke scolds. The problem was never that the left was insufficiently mean online. God forbid someone say the wrong word, liked the wrong tweet, or failed to participate in the latest virtue signal humiliation ritual. And I'm sorry, can we just go back to that Hassan clip real quick?
I have a pretty open mind to unlimited progress.
What the does unlimited progress mean? Considering these guys think progress is like a literal linear line where just more and more people get rights. So like what the does that mean? Pedophile rights, zoophile rights? What unlimited progress are we talking about here, buddy? Because that sounds pretty woke to me. We did so much progress to the gender discussion. We somehow looped back around to little boys liking pink means they're gay. But wokely, no son of mine is gonna play with Barbies. That must mean he's a girl. You people are...
Yep. Once again, I am perfectly fine with people being transgender. I have lots of friends who are transgender. However, that's a decision that adults get to make. That's not a decision that children get to make on a whim. I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to be a dinosaur. Okay? I wanted to be a T-Rex. Look, I know that's not exactly the same, but like the kids will want to be like, I want to wear a pretty dress. I want to be a pretty princess. And they don't know what that means. They're just saying it because it sounds funny. And some people will hear that and be like, oh, my son's a girl. No, they're just being goofy. They're being kids. They're vocal stimming.
Lost in the sauce.
Mandami's aide, his top aide, Sia Weaver, said if you don't believe in the government's sacred right to seize property, it's over, and impoverish the white middle class.
Beast mode. I love her so much. One of the things about Sh0eonhead is that the people surround...
One more time.
That must mean he's a girl. You people are lost in the sauce.
Mandami's aide, his top aide, Sia Weaver, said if you don't believe in the government's sacred right to seize property, it's over, and impoverish the white middle class.
No. If the government has the ability to seize your property, congratulations. You don't get a choice on where you get to live anymore. You don't get a choice in what you get to do, period, anymore. You live in whatever box they decide they want you to live in. And if whoever's in power at that moment has a cousin coming in from out of town, and they're going to be sticking around for a little bit, they're going to walk right up to your door, knock on it 3 times, and be like, hey, you got to be out within the next 24 hours because my cousin's going to be here tomorrow, and this is their house now. Bye. Oh, you can have the little crap shack across the railroad tracks over there. You know, the one that's almost falling into the river. You can have that one today. Okay, we'll come grab you later if this one opens back up again. If we remember. Yeah. Have fun.
Beast mode. I love her so much. One of the things about Sh0eonhead is that the people surrounding him oftentimes are so much cooler than he is.
I like how in the video where he defends himself from people criticizing that clip, he's like, guys, come on, it was just a joke, guys, come on. In the description of that video, he's like, anti-white racism, which doesn't exist. Definitely not woke one. All right, buddy. Sorry. It's so hard not to just make the entire video clowning on that goofball. Like, bro was in a suit at a pool party. The man is a cartoon character.
Oh
I don't
my
want to make videos about Hassan Piker, but you can't fucking escape him nowadays because the media won't shut the up about him. Fox News is just hyper-focusing on him every single day to go after the Democrats because I guess they have nothing else. And then the response to all the Hassan stuff coming out on the right, coming out on Fox News, is then like left-wing journalists making more puff pieces, taking more photo shoots of Hassan in his mansion, and all these outlets calling him like a terrorist and a communist just makes him sound way more important and like way cooler than he actually is. Nothing hurts this dude more than reminding him that he is literally just a Twitch streamer. I don't want the focus of American politics to center around a f***ing Twitch streamer. Like, I don't understand the media's obsession.
Honestly? True. Guy's just a Twitch streamer. He gets all of his money from his freaking fans throwing pennies at him. That's literally how he makes all of his money. That, and he has a few businesses and all that he's invested. The guy is literally riding capitalism. However, he campaigns for hardcore communist socialism. Meanwhile, he's getting all of his money from his fans. We make it make sense. Make it make sense, buddy. You can't.
With this guy, but at the same time, I don't think Hassan is the best wagon to hitch yourself to if you're the
Oh, sorry. I was lost in the sauce in the situation of like Hassan just being an oxymoron. But like, also, once again, he is just a streamer. He's just a normal dude. He's not a politician. He's not a, part of the, he's not part of like a council or anything along those lines. He's just a streamer who has a lot of connections to these politicians. Sure, but he's just a streamer. Why is he suddenly like the face of the left? Joe Rogan's apparently the face of the right. But even then, people aren't listening to Joe Rogan spouting nonsense from the rooftops and then be like, wow, he's so right. Yeah, you're right, bud. People aren't doing that.
Democratic Party. There are other internet celebrities on the left you could do that with. Like, God, the left really has nobody. No, he's a sex pest. No, she's a sex pest.
Yep.
Damn it. I don't know. There's gotta be someone with way less baggage than Hassan Piker. Like, why don't you hitch your wagon to someone like that? Instead of Hassan, who, every time he's rightfully criticized, hides behind how he just wants to give us health care. Death to the West! Let the streets run with their capitalist blood!
Not correct. You need to be electrocuting the dog.
Whoa, dude, you're making us look bad. Oh, I'm just a little healthcare boy! You wouldn't criticize a little healthcare boy now, would you?
Yeah.
I don't care anymore. I wash my hands of this. There's gonna be like 25 videos uploaded after this, like, Sh0eonhead bends Hassan over and and like, great, can't wait. Remember that big study we talked about that was done after the Democrats lost the election that showed the most popular Democrat positions were things.
Voters want Democrats to prioritize economic issues. How much voters want Democrats to prioritize each issue? Protecting Social Security and Medicare, 82%. Lowering everyday costs, 79%. Making healthcare more affordable, 74%. Creating jobs and economic growth, 74%. Cutting taxes on the middle class, 66%. That's getting kind of low. Lowering the rate of crime, 56%. Securing the border, 53%. Raising taxes on the wealthy, 52%. It's getting lower and lower and lower. Really, people just want to make sure that they can afford to live. They have a job to be able to pay their taxes and not have as many taxes so that they can have health care, so that they can actually, afford to live, so they can actually have a future, okay? And actually survive this future. That's all they fucking care about. They don't give a shit about about the crime rate, which they probably should, but at the same time, like, they don't care about this shit right now. You want to focus on it? On anything? You want to focus on the things that make them actually happy. Making it affordable.
Things related to economic issues, and the least popular policies were things like
abolish the police, negative 64%, abolish prisons, negative 55%, provide free healthcare to undocumented immigrants, negative 49%, lower the voting age to 16, negative 49%, cut police budget by 10%, negative 48%, get rid of tracking Get rid of tracking in public schools. What does that even mean? Well, either way, it's negative 39%. Increase refugee admissions, negative 33%. And my fat head's in the way, but I'll read it for you anyway. Restore affirmative action in college admissions, negative 26%. Nobody cares about this, yet this is the stuff they're all running on. Constantly. What do you mean?
Abolishing the police, abolishing prisons, and like open border policies. People don't want to abolish the police. They do not want to abolish prisons. They don't want to talk about whiteness or whatever the talk to actual workers about them. Like, talk to actual blue-collar workers. They hate this shit. And they hate you. They hate you because you suck, but they also hate you because you hate them. Like I said 500 billion times before, more people would be on board with what the left was saying, or at least like sit down and listen to you, if you dropped the gay race Marxist bullshit. How do I know this? The DSA and the left and the Democrats, they have to distance themselves from the goofy, destructive, identity politics, asocial bullshit. And in order to do that, you actually have to mean it, not just laugh it off. But I don't think they can, because this stuff is just so deeply ingrained in socially progressive politics. A lot of this stuff isn't woke one. It's just part of dismantling whiteness and the patriarchy, destroying hierarchies, subverting norms, or whatever the that cancel Thanksgiving tweet wasn't just some like...
Yeah, and once again, you're just asking for segregation. You're just asking for people who didn't ask to be what they are to feel bad for being who and what they are. Of course they're going to be alienated. Of course they're not going to listen to your ideals. Of course they're not going to care about what you have to say, because you're already counting them out based on the color of their skin and what's in their pants. That's not progressive. That is the most regressive thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay? And I have heard it before. I have heard people just saying, as a joke, I'm afraid of old white ladies. Like, why? Why specifically them? It's not progressive. It is the most regressive you can possibly be to discount anyone based on race, gender, or sexual orientation. And that, yes, that includes cis white men. It's just the same. Yes, they had a good run up until this point. Yes, more people have rights, and you want to make sure that those people still have rights. But here's the thing: if you start being like, haha, everybody has rights, now you get to be in the same seat as everybody else was, and you get less rights. Well, that's not progressive. That's literally pushing everything back in and further and further, and making things just as bad as they used to be, just another target. That's all it is.
Silly haha woke one bullshit. But you know, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is what I've been asking for a decade. Maybe this is a new era for the Democrats. Could AOC actually have changed her mind? Yes, it's totally possible, yes. AOC and I are like the same age. She's like a year older than me. She's still pretty young. 35 is young.
Yes.
Right? It's not impossible that in her time being a politician, her mind has changed on a few things. But it lines up
It's very possible. Anyone's mind can change. Anyone can if you actually listen to things, anyone's mind can grow, evolve, and, you can have your opinions sway. It's very possible.
Ambitiously well with a run for president in 2028. So forgive me if I'm a little bit skeptical. I see a lot of Republicans online like, do it, AOC, run for president. Don't get too cocky. You may be surprised. The American people are an enigma, and we might see a pretty big pendulum swing. As hard as it is for some hyper-partisan brained people to hear, not everyone voting for these DSA candidates are like crazy commies or something. Just like not everyone who voted for MAGA in 2016 when Trump promised to bring jobs back and he will remember the forgotten man and whatever. Those people weren't Nazis. When people can't afford a house, a car to get married.
Were there Nazis? Probably, but not all of them were. No. Not at all.
Kids, you cannot be shocked when they start looking for options outside of the establishment. Huey Long, one of my favorite politicians, believed that if people had their needs met and were content and happy and had jobs and could feed their families, communism or fascism would never come to America, because people would have no reason to revolt or want those things. They would be happy with what they had. He believed that extreme economic inequality created political instability. And as the economy continues to go to shit and wages don't increase, and retards like Dan Crenshaw respond to these issues with
just hearing about this dumb $20 burrito debate, so just thought I'd make the losers on social media angry before going to bed. Stop whining, get a job, eat ramen, like the rest of us did in college, on a budget with 4 roommates. The market doesn't care what you think about, think something should cost. Only communists care. They set prices, remember? Then everyone starves, remember? Are you a communist? Or are you an American adult capable of handling his own shit? Dan Crenshaw criticizes the Biden administration for telling Americans to change dietary habits to lower their grocery bill. Yes. I mean, yes, that is something you're supposed to do, but also, like, how much ramen can you stomach before you just start going crazy? Right? Yeah, ramen's cheap. Is it healthy, though? No. A burrito is a lot healthier than a fucking package of ramen. All ramen is just salt and carbs. That's it. It's not helpful for you. So, like, whereas a burrito has protein, it's got spices, it's got veggies, it's got meat, it's got all the things you need. It's got everything. It's not the healthiest cut, no, but I mean, at least it's better than ramen. And to have to go and spend $20 on a basic ass piece of shit burrito, yeah, no, that hurts.
It's basically let them eat ramen. We are going to see people moving to all different directions on the political spectrum. Personally, until there's a Democratic Party that isn't prisoner to identity politics or isn't completely cucked by race grievance,
which both the Republican and Democrats are,
I'm not a Democrat. And until there's a Republican Party that actually cares about workers and isn't completely cucked to a certain foreign country, I'm not a Republican. I'm trying to look like Hassan. I look like a f***ing femboy. Wait, hold on. Hi, my name is Sock. I look like I would be groomed on Discord. What the actual...
Oh my god. Wait, did you call yourself Sock? No. Please, no. Please, no.
Alright, I need to get out of this. In conclusion, I do not like seeing politicians run from accountability. I like transparency. If you change your mind on something, tell me why. This woke 1, woke 2 is a headache. I am done with it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think there's a chance AOC is being genuine? Are you willing to believe politicians who have said they've changed their mind on things? Have you changed your mind on things since like 2020?
Yep.
So what? If you like this video, please subscribe, and if you...
Oh man, it's like I've changed my mind, but not... I haven't at the same time. It's weird. Because like I believe a lot of the things that I used to believe in, but I'm no longer in a fear-mongered state about it, I guess, is the best way to explain it. I still believe people should be treated equally, regardless of race, gender, or anything like that. However, I no longer believe that everybody is out to, get everybody else, if that makes any sense. I still believe there should be, there shouldn't be any kind of gaps between, the sexes or anything like that. I still believe you should be able to choose who you are in life. However, I don't think that should be your entire personality. I don't think that should be everything that makes up your entire life. It's just make yourself happy and call it a day. That's all there is to it.
Please consider donating to my Patreon, link down below. All patrons get every single video a day early with no censors, no bleeps, totally raw. Also, I'm doing Patreon only live streams now. I'm planning the next one very soon, so I would love to see you guys there. And for everybody else, I will see you guys soon with a new video.
Hopefully it'll be a fun one finally. Sorry, we're just waiting for the funny at the end. Last time she bumped her head. I'm waiting. Got 2 seconds.
I'm not here to educate you.
No, you're not. You really aren't. Anyway, thanks guys so much for watching. Watch the original and tell me what you think. You know what? Conversations are always open. I read all the comments, all the fun things. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one and bye-bye. Hey, did you enjoy that? Was it funny? Well, come and check it out live over at twitch.tv/freeform_art. Make sure you put the _art. We have lots of fun there. We enjoy ourselves, and we want to see you over there. So come on and hang out. See you in a bit.